अब जब बुलेट चला जाता है बंदूक से निकल करके या तीर कमान से निकलता है और वापिस नहीं ले सकते। श्याम सुंदर कमान माने तीर कमान से निकल गया, satya-ātmakam तं śरणां प्रपद्ये। बता रहे हैं तो श्री सत्य के लिए बताया, सत्य त्रिसत्य तीन कालों में सत्य समस्त सच उनके चरण से निकलता है, जरूर आएंगे, सोऊंगा ही नहीं। ऐसे सोते नहीं थे। आज हुआ क्या, कृष्ण की जोग माया का प्रभाव से आज गहरी नींद में बाबा सो गए। वही बालक आया, बाबा मैं बताया आऊँगा, देख बाबा मैं आ चुका हूँ, मैं बताया था ना, देख बाबा मैं ना इस गांव का देवता हूँ, मेरे पुजारी मुसलमान के डर से मुझे झाड़ियों में रख छिपा करके भाग गया, मुझे निकालो। कबे आसी माधव मोर करिबे सेवन, এই লাগি পথ আমি করি নিरीक्षण। कब माधव आके मेरा सेवा करेगा, इसलिए मैं बाट जो रहा था, मुझे निकालो इधर से। हाथ पकड़ करके लेकर दिखाया, देखो यहीं पर छिपा हुआ हूँ। देखा, फिर यही नींद खुली, बालक अंतर्धान, छी 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 मैं सो क्यों गया, सो गया तो खो गया, इतनी गहरी नींद में सोया आज, अब करें क्या। कोई बात नहीं, सुबह होने पर गांव वालों के बुलाया, वो लोग फावड़ा लिया, ये जो चीज जरूरत है कुल्हाड़ी छुरा ये सब लेकर के साफ किया। थोड़ा सा बहुत सुंदर परम निकले,
sword and other tools, and a very beautiful deity manifested. Indu, can you please send me the Facebook link?
Yeah, 1 second.
पत्थर करके बना दिया ऐसे, इधर दो पीछे एक ऊपर एक, सामने उसको ढकने के लिए दे दिया। अब सबको पता चल गया, बताया गोपाल जी प्रकट हुए। अब सब आस-पास से सब गांव से लोग आने लगे गोपाल को दर्शन के लिए।
В этот выпенный пихарь, он там, в этом...
Да-да-да, он сейчас будет переводить, сейчас он.
और बता मथुरा के लोग सब बड़ा-बड़ा सेठ, मथुरा के सब बड़े-बड़े सेठ हैं, वो लोग ठाकुर जी का अन्नकूट शुरू कर दिया।
And all the villagers were nearby, having darshan of Gopal. Such a beautiful form of Gopal ji. And all the rich people from Mathura, they would also come to have darshan of Shri Gopal ji. So Srinath ji said to Madhavendra Puri, I'm full because you fed me so nicely. But since I was in the earth for a long time, there is heat in the body. I ask you to go to Jagannath Puri. Bring Malaya Chandan for me. Hope I am audible.
Yes,
and if you apply this on my body, then my body would receive the coolness. So if there is heat in the body, if one applies Chandan and Karpur on the body, but if the heart is burning, then what should one apply? What's the ointment for the heart? The body's heat is being relinquished by applying Chandan and Karpur, camphor. But what about the heat of the mind? And what about the heat of the Atma? say the shloka. Sham, please say the shloka by which one's heat of the heart is extinguished.
बोलो। भक्त, why so late?
Chandana Shridala Loke. In this world, it's famous that Chandan provides coolness.
जगत में प्रसिद्धि
So if
क्या
anyone has heat in the body, feeling so much of heat,
करता है?
then
यदि किसी
if
को
one brings the original Chandan
लग रहा है
and then Karpur,
ये
not that chemical camphor,
घिस करके
but then the actual camphor, the original camphor,
के बंकल है,
it's very beautiful. So if one mixes Chandan and camphor, then one's body becomes very cool.
सुंदर है। उसको
However, if one's mind has heat, one's mind is feeling burning,
किसी का
the heat won't go away
तो ये क्या
with
है?
the.
ये चंदन लगाने से ठंडा नहीं होगा।
So when the heat of the mind goes away,
सो
when one sits under
हो
a shining moon,
जाएगा।
then the rays of the moon extinguishes all heat. And by sadhu sangha,
गति
the atma, the heat of the atma goes away.
सल होगा।
Chandanat api chandrama,
चंद्रमात अपि
chandana chandramadhyo shitala sas. By the association of devotees, the heat, the
चंद्रमा
burning sensation of the soul goes away.
साधु संगति ये दिखाया। अब
Associate with sadhus and sadhus will let you know.
साधु बता देंगे कैसे ठंडा होगा। साधु का संग करना पड़ेगा।
He said those who have had experience, only they can tell.
जिसका हो गए अनुभव करेगा।
You say, if you are hungry, only you can feel. Similarly,
उसको भूख लगे तुम्हें
those who have heat in the soul, those feeling the heat of this material world,
आत्मा में गर्मी है
and sadhus would be able to identify who is feeling the heat. So that is also a symptom of a sadhu, that he can recognize who is feeling the heat of the material world.
लक्षण है।
Please tell me honestly, are you feeling the heat in your soul? Are you feeling the heat of this material world or not?
तुम्हारे आत्मा में गर्मी है कि नहीं है?
Is all of us have the heat of us in our soul. That's why we have come to hear Harikatha. So Madhavendra Puri, what he did, he was serving Shri Thakurji,
श्रीपाद क्या
and
किया?
now he went to Jagannath Puri.
वही सब
He
ठाकुर की सेवा करते थे।
who is this? He engaged Pujari,
जारी रख के
the
गए।
Vishnu Swami Sampradaya.
इस समय जो
He engaged the disciples of Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, and they started worshipping.
सब लोगों को पुजारी
Who is Vishnu Swami Sampradaya? That is Sri Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. So there was no other transport except walking all the way. So when he kept on walking and he arrived at Remuna. So one thing I say before I forget,
रेमुना पहुंचे। एक बात
in
बताइए,
Kartik I'll go for preaching for 5 days. We'll be there in Govardhan for 10 or 11 days.
10 दिन 11 दिन तो हो ही जाएगा। एक दिन पहले तो जाना ही
So
पड़ेगा।
Pujari would go to Govardhan.
हो जाएगा गोवर्धन में।
He said, I will go to preaching where? I'll go to Vrindavan to preach.
तो कहाँ
Because
पर?
darshans would be closed.
वृंदावन जाऊंगा। फिर दर्शन तो बाद में होगा नहीं। दर्शन खुल जाए तो गोविंद को मैं दर्शन कर लूंगा। आज जब बताया बोले वृंदावन जाऊंगा नहीं, मेरा मतलब जी मचलता है, सांस बंद हो जाता है। बोले जाऊंगा तो आऊंगा नहीं, बोला आने जरूरत नहीं। उनका बंधु है ना पागल अरविंद लोचन, उसके साथ रह जाएगा। कमरा तो है नहीं, पूरा भरा हुआ है। हल घर में उसको हल घर में वो परमेश्वर दे देगा, बता दूंगा, कोई चिंता नहीं।
And there's a Pujari who said that he will go along with me for preaching. When he said that, oh, you're going to Vrindavan, then I won't go to Vrindavan. He said, I feel exhausted and feel short of breath in Vrindavan. Maharaj is talking about some devotee
है और जाऊंगा तो
to
आऊंगा।
Venugopal Prabhu.
वेणुगोपाल কোনো অসুবিধা আছে? অরবিন্দের সঙ্গে থেকে যা কোনো অসুবিধা আছে? হ্যাঁ, বেণুগোপাল বলছে অসুবিধা নেই, ও পাগল হয়ে যাবে নাকি? বলে ও পাগল হয়ে যাবে। देखिए अब क्या हुआ?
Madhavendra Puri engaged the disciples of Sri Vallabhacharya, and then he arrived at Remuna.
जाते
So
जाते
when he arrived at Remuna, the deity of Sri Gopinath Ji,
पहुंचने के बाद
there the bhoga was offered to Srinath deity, and when the door was open, such beautiful fragrance
खुला भोग
was coming. He asked about the source of the fragrance, and then he was told that there is Amrit Keli Kheer, a special kheer which is being offered to Srinath Ji. It's called Amrit Keli. It is being made from milk. Madhavendra Puri
के लिए
he was he,
बनता है।
he would never beg and ask for anything.
मांग के नहीं खाते थे।
He said, "What if I get to know the ingredients, then I'll also offer this to Sri Gopal."
तो मैं वापिस जाऊंगा गोपाल को ऐसे बना के खिलाता
And Madhavendra Puri said, "Oh, I should not have such greed for the prasad."
छी 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 छी
So
ऐसे
how did Gopinath come there?
छी 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 ऐसे
In
ठीक
Navadip Parikrama, I mentioned that how did Gopinath ended up at Remuna.
नहीं। श्याम सुंदर क्या बोला नवद्वीप परिक्रमा में?
In Navadip, there's a place, Modadrum.
नवद्वीप में एक स्थान है।
Meaning of Mod means Anand.
मोद
Drum means vriksha tree,
मोद माने आनंद,
under that tree,
वृक्ष
Sri Ramchandra attained
नीचे
bliss.
करके
That's called Modrum Deep. In the same dweep or the same island where Mahaprabhu attained bliss,
द्वीप में
called Modrum Moddweep. Mod means Anand, Drum means vriksha.
द्रुम था
So the tree under which Srimad Mahaprabhu attained bliss, Mahaprabhu and Sri Ramchandra attained bliss, that's called Modrum Dweepa.
लाभ किया। प्रभु राम
Ramchandra was smiling
का नाम मोदद्रुम द्वीप।
because when for 14 years when he was in exile along with Mother Sita.
जब जंगल में थे 12 साल,
Sita Devi, why is it you're smiling?
उस समय की घटना है। सीता देवी पूछा प्रभु आप अकेला मुस्कुरा क्यों रहे हैं?
Because Lord smiles for many various reasons.
बहुत से कारणों से मुस्कुराते या हंसते हैं।
For instance,
एक है
if there is a reason to laugh,
तू आया
then one smiles.
बताया, वो बताया मैं जाऊंगा तो वृंदावन आऊंगा
If
नहीं,
there's a reason to smile, then anyone laughs. Then
तो सब हंसने लगे।
why did the Lord smile? So Ramchandra was not willing to share, but Sita Devi said, no, you must tell. Why is it that you're smiling?
आपको बोलना ही
Then
पड़ेगा।
Sita Devi wants to know that why is it that the Lord is smiling?
सीता देवी
So there must be a reason to smile.
ये क्यों हंस रहे हैं?
Uh,
तो हंसी का
Probably he
कारण
must have remembered something of the past which is making him laugh.
वो याद आ
But if
गया।
everyone is laughing, then one laughs, one smiles. But then why was Lord smiling? When Sita Devi was very persistent, she said, I want to know. Then Lord Ramchandra said, hey Sita, now we're in the forest right now. A time will come in the future
अभी तो
that
हम वन में आए हैं
I'll send you to the forest
कि
and
मैं
I'll remain in your separation. I'll make deities of yours and I'll worship those deities.
तुम्हारे विरह
Then
में
in the future, in Kali Yuga,
क्या करूंगा, रोऊंगा।
you will stay at home and I'll go to the forest. And then you will make my deity, and then you would also weep. You would weep and my mother would also weep. Sita Devi said, why? Why would you do this? He said, what sort of dharma is this?
आधी
That
रोएगी।
making one's wife and mother cry. Is this dharma?
धर्म है पत्नी को माँ को रुलाना,
This medicine keeps on coming in the mouth.
दवाई मुंह में आ जाता
So
है।
what sort of dharma is this? That you're making mothers and wife cry.
धर्म है
He said, hey Sita,
ये माँ को और पत्नी को
there are
रुलाना।
two aspects of prema. One is meeting, the other is separation.
प्रेम का दो
In
पहलू
this
है,
Treta Yuga,
एक मिलन है, एक विरह है। अभी इसी त्रेता
I'll send
युग
to the forest and I'll worship the deity.
तुम्हें वन में भेज दूंगा,
In Kali Yuga, you also come as Vishnu Priya and I'll come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then
तुम ही मेरे विष्णु प्रिया के रूप में आओगी, मैं चैतन्य महाप्रभु रूप में
you
आऊंगा।
would make my deity this time and then I'll go and take sannyas.
और तू मेरी मूर्ति बना के पूजा में सन्यास ले चला जाऊंगा,
Vipralamban milan, meeting in separation.
बोले यही नियम एक
He
विप्रलम्ब
said, why were you smiling? I still didn't get the answer. He said, when I would perform this pastime in Dwapar, he said, what sort of pastime we perform in Dwapar Leela? In Ramji,
वो कैसे लीला
Ramji started rubbing or scratching the bow,
तीर को
the arrow
करने
on the
लगे,
stone. And Sita Devi is
सीता देवी पीछे से
Ramji is Shaktiman, Sita Devi is Shakti.
देख रही है, श्री राम है शक्तिमान, सीता देवी शक्ति,
So as Ramchandra did the Pran Pratishtha of that stone, and that stone
उसमें प्राण
finally arrived at Remuna
विग्रह बाद में
as form of a deity. First the name was Gopinath, later on became Khirchura Gopinath.
पहले नाम था
So
गोपीनाथ,
Ramchandra went there.
बाद में हुआ खीरचरा गोपीनाथ,
So it was a deity of Kṛṣṇa,
ये उधर
the deities of the cows. It's
कृष्ण
there in Remuna.
गौओं के मूर्ति ये सब अंकित है।
Now,
अब हुआ क्या,
so Mahaprabhu is telling this to Nityananda Prabhu that when Thakurji is being offered bhoga and Thakurji was put to rest, after Shrayana, all the devotees left, and the pujari also took prasadam and he left.
शयन देने के बाद सब
In
लोग
the middle of the night,
जाके
Thakurji
हो गया,
is calling out to pujari, wake up, wake up.
रात पर ठाकुर जी पुजारी
So
को
when
बुला रहे हैं,
pujari was like half conscious because he all day he put in so much of effort or service, so he was tired. He
कोई
said, Prabhu,
श्रम है,
I've just gone to sleep.
पुजारी
Why are you waking me up? He said, Pujari, listen to me.
मुझे आप तंग क्यों कर रहे हैं,
He said, why is it that you are disturbing me this time? I'm feeling so much of tiredness. How would I be able to perform Mangala Arati in the morning? So he went back to sleep again. Then Sri Gopinath again came. He said, oh, get up. It's urgent.
पुजारी
He
उठ
said, what's the reason? He said, there's a devotee of mine called Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Puri.
देखो,
I've stolen a pot of sweet rice for him. You take the pot of sweet rice and give it to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Puri Pad.
पे रखा,
We say, Prabhu, Pujari is like half conscious. He's like half asleep and talking to Thakurji.
तो गिन के 12 निकाल दिया,
The,
पुजारी से बात
the
करता,
Thakurji, look at the fortune of the Pujari.
मुझे सपने में के बात कर
He
रहे
said, Noni,
हैं,
does your Thakur come in a dream to wake you up?
ननी তোমাকে ঠাকুর স্বপ্ন দেয়
But
কোনো
Madhav,
খিদা লেগেছে,
he said, does your Thakur come in the dream?
তোমাকে ডাকে ঠাকুর, ডাকে না একদিনও,
So
বেশি খাইয়ে দাও,
he said, hey Lord, he said, I counted the number of pots. There were 12.
नहीं तो
He said, you don't understand. By my yoga, you don't understand. He said, where have you kept that pot for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Puri Pad? He said, go.
प्रभु कहाँ रखा, नींद से ही बोल रहा है, बोला देख मेरा जो धड़ा है ना, पीतो धड़ा, धड़ा बोलते कि पीतो धड़ा,
He said, in front of my pitambara, the yellow cloth which I'm wearing, just behind that. So Thakurji's threefold bending form, and then
ठाकुर त्रिभंग ऐसे,
so the cloth of Kṛṣṇa in the yellow garment, Kṛṣṇa had kept. He said, I have kept that for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Puri Pad. He used to first bathe and then go to the temple.
करके तुरंत
So he
नहीं
bathed, took bath,
स्नान
changed clothes, went to the temple.
ये कपड़ा बदला, स्नान किया, फिर मंदिर गए, नहीं तो गुरु सेवा करना है, सोया हुआ था, हाथ में ले
Am I
लिया,
audible?
बस हो गया, ऐसा नहीं,
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sorry.
ठाकुर जी गुरु सेवा ऐसा नहीं
Yeah,
होता,
so Thakurji was put to rest after he picked up that
ये सचमुच नहीं
pot of
है, भव सामने,
sweet rice.
पैर
So it was a small pot of sweet rice,
भी विशेष कोई भक्त,
very beautiful, very fragrant.
फिर ठाकुर जी को शयन दिया,
So when Gurudev was given samadhi, then a special pot of kheer was brought from Madhavendra Puri Pad, and then we offered it to Shri Gurudev during the samadhi ceremony, in the samadhi.
समाधि दिया गया गुरु जी को नवद्वीप में, उधर से
So he started calling the name, who is Madhavendra Puri, who is Madhavendra Puri? Because it was dark at that time, very dark, very dense.
समय
So
समाधि,
Madhavendra Puri Pad was thinking that who is calling my name here?
अब माधवपुरी
He
को
said, I am Madhavendra Puri Pad.
है, टेर लगा रहे अंधेरे,
He said, for Thakurji has stolen this pot of sweet rice for you, and it's for you. He said, oh, Thakurji has stolen this for me.
तो बताए
So
मैं
he
ही
paid, the pujari paid pranams and he left.
बोले आपके लिए ठाकुर जी खीर
So
चुराया
Madhavendra Puri was thinking
चाहिए
that if I stay here tonight, the next morning
देखिए प्रणाम करके चले
in the
गए
Mangala, a lot of people would come, and there would be a lot of people who would come,
मैंने पूरी
you
सोचा
know, to glorify me.
आज रात के इधर रहूंगा
Because of the fear of pratishtha, of fame,
बता देंगे
Madhavendra Puri was thinking that people would give me a lot of recognition and fame, so he left that place. He said, if I was there,
आए पूरी जाए पलाइया
I would just stay there.
के डर से लोग मुझे सम्मान देंगे
That's why this,
से रातों रात
I want fame, but Madhavendra Puri does not want pratishtha.
कि मैं ही बोलता
Because even if you don't want pratishtha,
को बोलता
pratishtha pache pache jai goraiya.
इसलिए मुझ में
The fame follows the devotees. Even if the devotees don't want, the fame keeps on rolling behind
प्रतिष्ठा
the devotees. There's something which I remember. Srila Gurudev used to say that
पीछे
in this village
लुढ़क करके जाता है प्रभु
there was
लगाइए
he went to take bath
की याद आई
in a pond.
गुरुदेव
So
कहे
so
उनके गांव
his
में
feet got pricked with something. So there was
कोई नहाने के लिए गए किसी तालाब में पैर में
So-
कुछ लगा
so
घड़ा सा
there
ये
was a spot of brass,
बता मुझे ले चलो इसमें
and it was seen that the pot was started rolling behind
पीछे
this person.
लुढ़कते हुए
So
आई
he said there was a man
जा
behind whom the brass
जा रहे हैं
brass pot was rolling behind this person, but then he was not interested in taking that. So if something belongs in one's destiny, it would automatically follow. Just like it is a saying in Hindi that when Lord gives, he opens up the sky, he opens up the roof.
कैसे
Something which is in our destiny, it will automatically come. There was a person,
जो घर के ऊपर
he has a field, and then he's a farmer, and while
जो
while
बना
tilting the land,
होते हैं
he found a pot which was full of gold coins.
खेत में खेती करने गए
So he didn't want anyone to know, so he went in the night. What he did, he covered that pot in the ground and thought that I'll come back in the night. So he's talking to his wife and telling that I have to go to the field. He said, why? Because there's a pot which I have found in which is full of gold coins. He said, why did you bring it? He said, because in the morning people would ask. That's why I have hid that pot in the ground, and I'll bring that later. So there was a thief which was there at that time who heard all this conversation. So the thief went, and then he saw that pot of gold coin, and then he stole that.
चोर घर से निकल चले गए
So when he was about to pull out that pot,
थोड़ा सा
then
स्थान उठाया देखा तो घोड़ा सचमुच घोड़ा है उठाया उसको
then the mosquito started stinging.
छोड़ दिया ढक दिया फिर
So the thief was very, very angry. He said, oh, he was lying.
अगर डस
There's nothing here.
ढक दिया उसको
So what he did,
उसको ये झूठे कहीं का मतलब उसी को कटवाऊंगा घोड़ा को घोड़ा था
so what he did, he turned the pot upside down.
चढ़े काट दिया
He said, because he was lying to me. So let him come. And all these
जाएगा
mosquitoes are going to bite him.
बहुत डासा
So in this way,
उसी को क्यों झूठ बोला
if it's in someone's destiny, one will get it. Similarly, Madhavendra Puri's destiny had the kheer of Sri Gopinath Ji. That's why he himself stole. So in the Mangala Arati, Pujari told everybody, and everyone was searching for Madhavendra Puri parts. No one was there. So since then, his name changed from Gopinath to Kheer Chora Gopinath.
क्या क्या
First, his name was Gopinath because Thakurji stole, because the devotee he stole the kheer. That's why he became Kheer Chora Gopinath, the one who stolen the kheer for Sri Madhavendra Puri Pad. So he went to Sri Madhavendra Puri Pad. He went.
अब तक के
He
लिए
took he took that kheer. So the moment took that kheer,
आ गए
his hair started standing on its end,
चले
and
गए
his voice was choking, and his whole body was trembling in ecstasy, and tears were rolling down from his eyes.
रोमांच ये
So
रोम
Madhavendra Puri Pad was feeling these. So he was thinking, oh, Shri Thakurji has done this for me.
है
So he was like, I'm not going to throw away this pot. So he broke that pot into pieces, and then he hid that in his cloth. He said, whenever I would feel hungry, I'm going to take this little piece of pot,
थोड़ा
because he was feeling so much of ecstasy. So he went to Jagannath Puri. At Jagannath Puri, he went to, he collected Malaya Chandan and Karpur. So it's a special Chandan in Jagannath Puri. It comes from Malaysia now. It's like extinct in Jagannath Puri. From on the other side of Jagannath Puri's ocean is Malaysia. In Malaysia,
समुद्र के इस पार जगन्नाथपुरी उस पार मलेशिया
Thailand.
मलेशिया और क्या है जिसका राजधानी है
Thailand's previous name was Shamland.
इंडोनेशिया मलेशिया
Previous name.
पास में क्या है सिंगापुर
All this was part of Bharatvarsh.
थाईलैंड का पहले नाम
One can go by road. From China, there's a route going to these places.
सब भारत से आप स्थल
One can go to Russia also by road.
रास्ता है चाइना का इधर होके
Now they're building a train from China to Europe.
रशिया भी स्थल पथ
So what happened?
अरे चाइना से स्थल पथ से ट्रेन लाइन कर रहे यूरोप के लिए
Now when he collected all that camphor and
हुआ क्या
chandan, so finally he came, when he arrived at Remuna on the way,
अब
no one knew that Madhavendra Puri had come. So since then, at
उपाय नहीं है
the other day, no one could find him during the Mangala Arati. So he was like a saint, just water under the bridge. He just passed by and no one could find him. So when he again arrived at Remuna, then during the night,
बाबा कहाँ चले गए
so he rested at Remuna, and the same Gopalji came in the dream. He said, Madhav,
अब जब
so now you become old. You are 84 years old. He said, I'm giving you so much of trouble.
किया
He said, who should I say to? I have no one. I have no one except you. That's why I say everything to you. But so there's no need to carry all this chandan all the way back. So what you do, you smear that chandan on the body of Shri Gopinath Ji, and then I would also I'll feel the coolness of that body. There's no difference between Gopinath and me. Thakurji told him. That's why any deity, all the deities are the same. There's no difference.
मेरा अंग शीतल हो जाएगा मेरे और गोपीनाथ में कोई भेद नहीं है
So it's the instruction of Shri Thakurji. So Madhavendra Puri came. So all the devotees, everyone recognized, oh, that's Madhavendra Puri. So now everyone got to know.
अब ठाकुर जी के आदेश
So since that time, the Chandan Yatra started.
हर पुजारी लोग सबको यही माधवपुरी ठाकुर जी खीर चिराया सबको बता दिया अब
It's also in Satyuga. The Satyuga Jagannath Yatra is also there, but in Kali Yuga, there was no Chandan Yatra. It started off after Madhavendra Puri brought the,
युग में भी था
and at that place, Sri Madhavendra Puri, he disappeared, and he could not come to Braj.
उससे पहले कलयुग
Because
में
if he would come to Braj, he would take the service of Shri Gaudiya Sampradaya. But it's a desire of Kṛṣṇa that he wanted to take service of Shri Vishnu Swami Sampradaya.
गौड़ीय संप्रदाय के
Now Thakurji is also thinking,
ठाकुर जी
he said, I'm not feeling good here. So he left.
कोई दोष नहीं है
He went to Udaipur and Jodhpur.
मैं सेवा लेंगे
It's in Rajasthan.
ठाकुर जी भी बताइए सर मेरा मन नहीं
He says, come from Vrindavan,
चले गए
Srinathji.
उदयपुर
Who
जोधपुर
has gone to Srinathji in Nathdwara?
बोले ये वृंदावन सा पहाड़िया है कि उधर कौन कौन गया
He says that he does not remember except Harinam, but then even he remembers that he has gone to Nathdwara.
बोले मेरा कुछ याद
He
नहीं
said,
केवल ये हरिनाम
have you forgotten your he said
ये भुला नहीं कुछ
you say that you have forgotten everything, but whatever I ask, you remember.
अब दीपू तुम्हारा बेटा भूल गया वो भी भुला
He
नहीं
says, you went to Nathdwara so many years ago, but you still remember. So that means you haven't forgotten anything. So
बोला वो तो याद है
such beautiful service is being performed at Srinathji.
देखो कब गया वो भी
Thakurji wants prem.
याद। उधर
He's a son. Maharaj Putra, he's a son. He's son of a king.
ठाकुर जी को क्या
That's why he's being worshipped.
चाहिए
So he went to Srinathji, Nathdwara,
आठ से हो
near Udaipur.
राजपुत्र ने महाराज कुमार
Such beautiful service is being performed there.
क्या किया जहाँ चले गए उसको नाथन द्वार
And there's
बोलते हैं।
such beautiful cows there. And
कितनी
if you go there,
है
all the deities of the Lord, all the deities see, all the deities have eyes looking towards you, but the Srinathji's eyes are down, like
इतने
half closed. Why? What's the reason? Ramanan tell why his eyes are closed.
श्रीनाथ
So
ध्यान
I told you later on. I told you before, and I've also told this in the past, that why his eyes are closed.
बोलो रामानंद क्यों है? जब तुम लोगों के साथ में गया था बताया था, और इसमें 2 बार 3 बार बताया था। हाँ, किसके साथ? फिर कौन गिरा दिया? भांगी ने?
So what exactly happened? So
भांगी ने गिरा दिया?
Thakurji was playing with this boy, and then that boy pushed him in Govindakund.
माने गिरा दिया?
Vanshi, do you know the pastime? Why his eyes are half closed or looking down? You see, you've been there, but then you don't know why. Chacha went with Ramesh, and Venugopal, did you go to tell why his eyes are closed like this?
हाँ, गया
Sham,
तो
you tell.
चाचा रमेश के साथ गया था, याद नहीं। वेणुगोपाल गए छ तो बोलो। सैम बोलो, दामोदरपुरा बोलो, क्या जानते हो?
Damodar, you tell the entire pastime. Shramasundari, you speak.
কি বললো? ওইটাই তো বললো। हिंदी में बोलो, इधर के हिंदुस्तानी के रसगुल्ला खाते हो और रोटी, और बोल दो बांग्ला में चलेगा नहीं।
When you eat the North Indian rasgulla and North Indian roti, you have to speak in Hindi.
हरिनंदन
He was a disciple of Sri Vallabhacharya called Govinda. He had loving friendship relationship with the Lord. So Govind saw that Thakurji was playing with a son of a sweeper. He's, he said, "Hey Jai Jai, there's so much of rules and regulations which is to be followed in your worship, but then you're playing with the son of a sweeper." He said, "Oh, I'll play because I like to play with them." So what Govind did? He said, "You won't even take bath, and then you just go and stand as a deity again." He said, "First, at least take bath." So Govind, he pushed him in the Govind Kunda. In the Govind Kunda, Thakurji became completely wet, and then he ran towards the deity room. So when Sri Vallabhacharya saw that the deity room there's water which was coming out, then he asked Govinda, "What really happened?" So Govind was also wet, and Srinathji was also wet, drenched completely. He said, "What is the reason why both of you are wet? What really happened?" So Govind revealed everything to Sri Vallabhacharya, and in embarrassment, Srinathji's eyes were down.
जब ठाकुर जी उधर थे
When Thakurji was in Govardhan
कुंड के तट पर
and on the banks of Sri Govinda Kunda,
पहले
where there was our Madhavendra Puri Path's temple is also there at Govinda Kunda.
सॉरी माधवपुरी गए थे
So Madhavendra Puri Path gave this service to Shri Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. So whenever Sri Vallabhacharya would come to Govardhan,
करते थे
he would perform noon arati with his own hands by himself. So he would offer bhog to Thakurji by his own hands, and his Sampradaya, they would call him Jai Jai.
भक्ति सिद्धांत
Just like Sri Bhakti Thakur Prabhupada,
प्रभुपाद
we call him Prabhupada. Similarly,
जय जय बोलते थे
the Vallabhacharya is also known as Jai Jai. So the bhog was offered,
शिष्यों में से एक शिष्य का नाम
and,
था
and there was one disciple of Sri Vallabhacharya called Sri Govinda. And this Govinda,
सुमति नंदन
just
का
like we sing Yashomati Nandan, there's an arti of theirs
अब गोविंद
in the afternoon time. So
का भाव था
Govindji had Sakyaras, a very strong friendship, natural friendship with Govinda.
अरे ठाकुर जी
So
तो
Govinda saw
जमादारनी के
the Thakur is playing with the son of a sweeper. She said, "Hey,
शर्म नहीं आती
don't you have any shame that I offered you bhoga and then you're out playing with the son of a sweeper? I'm going to tell Jai Jai." Krishna said, okay, go and tell Jai Jai. I don't care. I don't care you. I don't care the Jai Jai also. I love to play with the son of a sweeper. So Krishna is like broad-chested saying, I don't have any fear. Govind said, okay, let me tell him. No problem.
करते आ रहे
So they had this loving exchange, loving fight. So at the time of Arati had already started. He said, I'm not going to go. I just want to play with him. I just do whatever I want. If you want to say something, go and tell him. I don't care. This loving friendship going on between Govind and Krishna. So both of them were arguing with each other. So Thakurji is so clever. What he did?
बाएं ओर रखा
So he kept Govind on the right hand side. And then he went on the banks of Govindakund.
जे जन कृष्ण भजे से बड़ा
Jai Jai and Krishna was just able to the one who worships Krishna is very, very clever.
होते हैं अभी कम नहीं होते
So
हैं छक्का छुड़ा देते हैं
so they also make Krishna run for the money.
जा रहे
So
थे
as they were on the banks of Govindakund, so Thakurji pushed him.
पकड़ लिया ठाकुर जी को
So he also held on to the Thakurji, and then both of them fell in the water.
कुंड में अगाध पानी है
So there was this unlimited water. What really happened? Both
गीला होगा
and the clothes became completely wet.
गीला हो
So
गया
clothes became completely wet. Now it's time for Arati.
घंटा बजाया
But the bell was rung.
आगे ठाकुर जी दौड़ कर गया घुस गए मंदिर में
So when the bell rung, Krishna immediately ran and stood in the temple as a deity.
जब
So when Sri Vallabhacharya started off the Arati, he saw, oh,
मंदिर खोला
I've opened the door from where the water is coming. Thakurji was like the whole
भी गीला है
cloth of Thakurji and Govind is completely wet. They're drenched completely.
गीला
He said, how is it possible that both of them are wet completely? Then
क्या बात बता दूं
then Govind said, should I tell Jai Jai?
इशारा से
He was just indicating to Krishna, should I tell him? You were very fearless at that time. At that time, you were saying that you don't care that what would Jai do to you, and you were even saying to that you don't even care, about anything. So shall I tell him now?
अब क्या
He
बात?
said that time you were just uh, saying this without any fear. So Vallabhacharya said, what happened?
बोले नहीं माना
Tell him the truth. He said, no, I've been told not to say the truth.
हूँ
He said, I am your guru or he is your guru.
गोविंद भजे
If you, if,
पापी नरक के मजे
if one gives up Sri Guru and worships Govinda, then one goes to hell.
कोई गोविंद का
If
भजन
one goes to worship Govinda by giving up Guru,
पापी है
then
नरक
one is sinful and one goes to hell. So you must say whatever the truth is. So Govinda, and then Krishna said, no, please don't.
बात बता दे सच सच
Vallabhacharya said, tell me, why are you looking at him?
तब बता दिया ऐसी ऐसी बात है
Then Shri Vallabhacharya ji,
आपका
he said, I was in Govindakon, and then he pushed me, so I held on to him, and we also fell in the water. That's why my cloth is wet and his cloth is also wet.
लगा
So when Thakurji felt so embarrassed, that's why his eyes are like closed, half closed.
इसलिए
That's why wherever you see the deity
श्रीनाथ जी
of
का
Srinathji deity, you would see that his eyes are half closed, even in Nathdwara or anywhere else, even in Govardhan.
बनेंगे ठाकुर जी
That
क्या है
anyone who would make the deity of Srinathji, you would see that his eyes are closed, looking down. This is the rahasya, the mystery of Srinathji's eyes are looking down.
और किसी विग्रह में नहीं देखेगा
Not in any other deity. Only in one deity you would see this speciality that his eyes are down in embarrassment.
कहीं भी
So all the deities you would see in any of the sampradaya, you would see the eyes are Krishna is looking straight.
और एक है
So there's another thing.
एक ठाकुर जी अब बैठे हुए हैं
There's one deity of ours which is sitting.
हुए नहीं है
There's one deity which is sitting in our sampradaya.
आइए तेरा प्रसाद कहाँ क्या करते हैं आप क्या करते हैं मुझे भक्त बोला था कोई जरूरत हो आपका नाम और फोन नंबर लिखा दीजिए आप कितने भी बिल्कुल इधर रहेंगे अभी पोस्ट पर इसका नाम और ये टेलीफोन लिख लेना तो कोई जरूरत हो जब इधर बीच में आया करे इधर न उधर दूर रही तो आपके घर के सामने ही है अभी का मंदिर अभी का घर है सच्चिदानंद हमारे अभी रुकने का स्थान नहीं है अभी होगा इसको इनका प्लान सैंक्शन हो गया है तो नया बनाने के 150 साल पुराना मंदिर है तो उधर चौथी वाले विदेशी फ्रांस का चौथी महाराज तो ये इसको भी जो ऐसा अभी गिरा नहीं रहे जाएंगे कहाँ अकेले कहाँ किसी को इन्फेक्शन होती इसलिए अगले साल से इसको शुरू करें तो इधर भी रहने का अच्छा स्थान हो जाएगा जय झा प्रसाद दो ऐसे बीच में आते रहिएगा इधर भी रुकने का स्थान है कभी आए ये आप ही का मंदिर है आप और एक है हमारे संप्रदाय में एक विग्रह है, बैठे हैं, और सब जगह में विग्रह खड़े हैं, कोई लेटे हुए हैं। लेटे हुए कहाँ पर? श्रीरंगम पर। लेकिन कहीं भी हो, और ये क्या है? सब खड़े हैं, बैठे के नहीं। कोई बाल गोपाल है, वो तो घुटनों पर चल रहे हैं। कौन से विग्रह बैठे हैं बोलो रामानंद?
There's sampradaya, there's a deity, a sitting deity, a deity which is in the sitting manner. And in all the other sampradayas, deities are in Srirangam, Thakurji is lying on the bed, but in any other place, everyone is either standing. Bal Gopal is on his knees, he's crawling, which Vigraha is sitting.
ṛta গোপীনাথ দর্শন করেছে কি করে নাই? মনে নাই ঠিক।
ṛta Gopinath is in the sitting. Venugopal has been to Puri. ṛta Gopinath is sitting. Why?
देखो ठाकुर जी उधर बैठे हैं।
What's the reason why ṛta Gopinath is sitting?
महाप्रभु रिंग करके देख लिया, रिंग करके देख लिया।
Śrīmad Mahaprabhu stayed in this world for 48 years.
क्यों बैठे हैं?
And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam
श्रीमन महापुरुष जगत
is defines or establishes the glories of Śrīmad Radharani. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu came to relish the moods of Śrīmad Radharani.
ग्रंथ है। इसलिए चैतन्य महाप्रभु क्या राधा जी का भाव को आस्वादन करना चाहते हैं। भाव राधिका
in the form of Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, Śrī Radharani is to taste the sweetness of Śrīmad Radharani. And the moves, the sweetness of the moves of Śrīmad Radharani, the Brajraj Kṛṣṇa himself has appeared as Śrīmad Mahaprabhu. So what is the Bhav Madhuri of Śrīmad Radharani? Radharani's exclusive wealth is Madhanakya Mahabhav. Except Śrīmad Radhika, it's not even there in Kṛṣṇa, and not even Śrī Lalita in Vishakha, and also in Chandravali. Only in her, this mode of Madhanakya Mahabhav is found. So what happened? So when Śrīmad Mahaprabhu disappeared, and Sri ṛta Gopinath, he manifested this deity of Sri ṛta Gopinath and gave it to Sri Gadadhar Pandita. And every day he would come to hear Harikatha from Sri Gadadhar Pandita. Gadadhar Pandita Śrīmati Radhika. So he said, yes, Prabhu, whatever you want to give to me, I'll accept it. He said he manifested a deity, and then Sri Gadadhar Pandit would worship him. And when Gadadhar Pandit is 1 year younger to Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, so when Śrīmad Mahaprabhu left, Gadadhar Pandit he became old. What is the meaning of old? He became old because of separation, not because of age. So he could not worship the deity of Sri ṛta Gopinath. So he would constantly weep. So one day Gopinath said that, hey Gadadhar, you must be feeling a lot of trouble. So that's why since then, in order to receive the service of Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Gopinathji has taken the sitting position. Then after one Mahaprabhu's disappearance, Mahaprabhu stayed for 48 years. Gadadhar Pandit, he also lived for 48 years and then he left. Since then, that deity is in the sitting manner.
ऐसे गदाधर पंडित भी 48 साल उम्र में इस जगत को छोड़ के चले गए, तब इसे बसा हुआ।
On the right side of his, there is a sign where Mahaprabhu entered in that. So when we went to Shri Gurudev, only in the morning in Mangala Darshan, they take 50 rupees per person. Earlier they would not take money, now they take some money and show that place where Mahaprabhu entered in the body of Sri ṛta Gopinath. So in our Sampradaya, our one Thakurji has eyes down and one is sitting.
हमारे सम्राट एक ठाकुर जी हरे कृष्ण वंशा
thank you.
सिंधु भयवच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णव गुरवे नमः।
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.